boy.
Joe and Hampton, lights dim, it's game time. Interview sharp, cut through like a shank line. Stick lounge, stories unfold, real and raw. From hustlers to dreamers, breaking laws with a claw. Microphone warriors, capturing life's conflicts. Sitting across legends, tell
I do like it.
like black
It's bumping.
Drop bars,
It's
not
definitely
mics,
bumping.
knowledge, it rains. From the streets to the beats in every vein. Stick lounge podcast, tails heavy with the weight. Real lives, gritty stories, never fake. Joe and Hampton, digging deep, no facade. Untold narratives, every episode a new fraud.
We're gonna bring it down. We're gonna bring it down. We're gonna bring it down.
Get it ready. Get
All
it
right,
ready.
another episode of Stick Lounge Podcast. How's everybody doing?
We're good. We're
We're
good.
good.
Awesome.
Good snowy night tonight.
Yeah, it is a good snowy night tonight. It's
wow.
crazy. Like when we started, it was just nothing out there, and now it's just insane.
Somebody need to make up their mind. The sun was out, it rained, it snowed. Then it went back, snowed, rained, and the sun came out again.
That's just Washington, dude.
Crazy,
It's,
crazy.
Beyond bipolar weather. Beyond bipolar weather. Well, I would right here usually talk about our socials, but I set my phone over there. So, Hamp, what's going on at Creole Soul while I grab that?
Creole Soul got a lot going on. This Saturday, you don't want to miss the great guitarist, Michael Power. He's back in the house, and if you were there last time, it was standing room only.
Yes, it was.
And I think it's going to be a repeat. So, and we have done some reconstruction down there. Joe
Yes, we
has
did.
went to work. You hear me? Joe is always going to work there. I mean, we got a stage, we got lights. You know, I just go in there and sit down and clap my hand just so the light can flash, you know. But so this Saturday, Michael Power's back in the house, and they're also going to be doing jazz brunch on the Sunday, which is the 9th as well. So if you miss him Saturday night, you can catch him on Sunday from 1 to 4 at Creole Soul, 22341 Marine View Drive, Backstage Alley.
Backstage Alley.
Okay, that's where you can
Promo
find
Backstage Alley, right, Robyn? We
That's
got to
very
promote
good.
Backstage Alley.
Very good.
That's where you can find us, okay? So don't forget, December 8th, Saturday night, Michael Powers. December 9th, Michael Powers again.
I think we'd like to go do it in February.
A
8th,
double dose.
February 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then you've got, weren't you doing what day is Valentine's Day?
Excuse
14th.
me?
No, that's the 14th. But
No, everyone knows what day it is.
Well-
Everyone should know what day it is.
yeah, but what day does it land on?
Friday.
It lands
It
on
lands
a
on a
Friday,
Friday?
so we
Oh,
got
okay.
Joe.
You got another band there that night.
Joe
right?
Suspilio. Yeah, I may not be pronouncing his name right, but he's going to be in the house on Valentine's Day, which is a Friday night. He's also going to be back on Saturday night. So
And that's how you say Valentine's in Louisiana.
yeah, that's
right?
how you say Valentine. Yeah,
Okay, just
it's,
making sure.
it's
It's the
definitely a
same
Southern
day.
thing. Yeah, it's the same day. Yeah, you know,
Okay.
just, all my Southern folks, you understand me, but these PNW people out here, you know, they got to catch on. They got to get the manual for the language. You know, so yeah,
Sorry.
Valentine's Day.
I have to mess with the subtitles for the shorts. That's not what he said. That's not what he said.
So don't forget Valentine's Day, Joe S. on the 14th, and also Joe S. on the 15th.
Yes, not
Creole
this
Soul.
Joe's. Different
Not
Joe's.
Joe S. Not Joe Shelton. Joe Spinello. Spinello.
And
Polito.
I'd say what's going on with the truck, but most of your stuff is corporate and contracted, and
Yeah.
not a lot that people can do. And
Yeah.
you're booked all the way up through
I'm
26
booked
right now,
all the
right?
way to 2026 with the food truck.
Right.
Wow. That's amazing.
I know that's crazy, right?
So it's just we just roll. That's all we do.
Yeah, as long as it don't look like that out there.
Yeah, if they can cancel if it looks like that. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going my house and back.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And your house, even there's a steep hill trying to get to your house
Yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly.
You have chains on your pickup truck on that VW. Yeah, for people that don't know, Hamp drives not all the time, but he has a VW Beetle.
I sure do.
6'11", and he has a VW Beetle. Sits in the back seat.
Cheap on gas. Put my Rottweiler in there and we fill it up.
Yes, you do. 100%. All right, cool. Let me touch real quick on what's going on with Stick Lounge. Stick Lounge, we've got whiskey tasting February 8th. We've got a wine tasting March 8th as well. And we've got a 50th birthday party that it's booked out for February 22nd. And we just added the PA system for private party karaoke.
Fantastic.
So that should be pretty cool. And we're going to be setting up some speakeasy nights too. But I kind of want to wait till it gets, yeah.
Maybe when it's a little bit nicer. out.
Yes, exactly. When people are kind of roaming the streets, walking up and down Marine View Drive, I want to have the speakeasy going. So
Yeah, very good. Except we're not supposed to know where it is.
No passwords. It's going to be the whole
Exactly.
thing.
Gonna leave some clues.
Yes. A little rabbit trail.
Got it.
Scavenger hunt.
There you go. Perfect. All right. Hit us up on our socials. Instagram at stick_lounge. And I need the phone because I can't remember all this. YouTube at stick_lounge_podcast. TikTok at stick.lounge.podcast. I still feel really weird saying that we have a TikTok, dude. It's so weird. But telling my kids for years, get off that. Don't have that. Don't look at it. Now I got one. So the podcast has one. And then email if you guys want to reach out to us. The lounge is available to lease, to rent. If you want to have a party or whatever, you want to do a private party karaoke, whatever you want to do, you want to just hang out. It's here. It's open. That is Stick Lounge at DAT. I always got to say that part.
Yeah.
DatCreoleSoul.com. Stick Lounge at DatCreoleSoul.com. So hit us up on any of those. Let us know, and we'll keep you guys informed. So that's what I've got. That's what Hamp's got. So let's introduce our guest, Robyn.
Yes.
We're going to let you introduce yourself.
Oh, I've got to do all the work already.
Yeah, already.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Like, you just, so Desimone?
Absolutely not.
No. Damn it.
It's Robyn Desimone.
Desimone.
It does rhyme with baloney.
Baloney, that's right.
And it is
but
very
there's a
close
space in
to-
there, right?
No, not mine.
Not in yours. See,
So there
we
was-
live in Des Moines.
Yes.
Your name looks just like the town.
It is just like it, but not.
Okay, perfect. How do you spell it?
Desimone.
Okay, got you. So it's
The
very
same
close.
letters, just in a different order.
Yes. And I apologize.
That's okay. That's okay.
I knew I was going to screw that up, and that's
That's
why
all right, everyone
we're
gets it
We're
wrong.
just going to do it out in the open.
It
We're
just
gonna
ends
do it
up
out
Des
in the
Moines most of the time. So
Exactly.
That's fine.
Perfect. So Robyn is here. You are the owner of Iris and Peonies.
Correct.
I said that
one
correct,
peony.
right?
Correct. Iris and peony.
Peony. Okay. You know, that Iris I'm very familiar with. Peony, no clue.
That's okay. So the name came from irises are very familiar, generic. Most people know what they are, and you can get them year round. Peony is very expensive, very luxurious, and it's only available sometimes. So we kind of tried to span the gamut of what we do.
Very cool.
It also was available at 3:11 in the morning when we were trying to find a name for, for our website.
Doing the search, like what's available.
What domain name was available? Boom, got it. Okay, great.
Yeah, makes sense. And you are in Backstage Alley as well.
I am in Backstage Alley. I am the first business to own that address.
Oh, really?
Our actual address is 22330 Backstage Alley.
Oh, so your address is actually Backstage Alley.
Actually is.
That's pretty cool. How come they
Right.
didn't change yours?
It's because we're the first occupancy. It's not a change. It's because we're the first business. Because it's the first one in this space. Yeah.
When they change a road, though, don't they change your address? Like, isn't that?
No.
They don't.
Right. So Hampton is a part of this building that's on Marine View Drive. But so my business has never been occupied before. So the certificate of occupancy,
It goes to Backstage Alley. That's pretty cool.
it's a blessing and curse
Okay.
because Google doesn't recognize it.
Oh, okay.
Since the city named it, the post office is arguing with the city. They're saying that's an honorary name. It's not actually a place or a thing or street.
That's crazy.
And then when you look up the Google Live map, it still shows this place fully under construction.
Yeah, they're gonna send another Google car through here to
They
take new
better,
pictures.
right? So I'm just going to open a business that's not searchable that you can't find. So
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
When we set up the Stick Lounge, Hamp put it on, the Google Maps or whatever, so you can look it up, Stick Lounge on Google Maps, and it pops up. But a buddy of mine was like, yeah, we went and checked it out because I was telling another friend of mine that he should, come and do. Owns another distillery, and he's like, you guys should set something up. And he goes, yeah, I looked it up, and it looks like a what do you say? It looks like a storage facility or something. I'm like, oh, we got to get some pictures up there, so there are pictures now of the Stick Lounge on Google. But yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that your address is actually Backstage Alley. That's
It
pretty
is
cool.
the first one, and I think might be the only one.
You
because
might be the only
very
one.
few open onto that
Yeah.
side, right?
Yeah, everything else is on
Is
Marine View Drive.
correct,
So yeah,
yeah.
that's wild. Oops,
So
don't hit that.
just me and Hamp in the back holding it down.
Just hold it down,
That's all right. Hamp's waking up the alley. We got live music and stuff going on. You've got
Correct.
a whole nother side. How did your grand opening go yesterday?
It went great. We had lots of people come through. This community support is unbelievable.
That's awesome.
Absolutely humbled by the people that came through there. And then our soon-to-be future neighbors at Second Love Coffee opened up just for the day.
Okay.
So that people could access the space better from Main Street and because they just wanted to feel it out. They should be opening the beginning of March.
And they're right off of Marine View, right?
Correct. So you can walk through their space and down the stairs and access mine as well.
Okay, because you did like not even a soft opening, but you kind of, that space that you were in that time, that's where.
Popped up there a couple times, also added
Popped up, there you
confusion. That was exciting. It
Nice.
seemed like the right idea. at the time.
Sound like a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
So all they do is coffee, or they have anything else in there?
I believe the intention is also some small bites.
Cool.
It's more of like a sit-down hangout type of situation. Also,
They got good Wi-Fi. That's a coffee shop thing, right?
for sure, for sure,
that is
Wi-Fi.
definitely coffee.
For sure. I don't drink coffee. I'm naturally.
You don't. You're in Seattle and you don't drink coffee.
hyper. Yeah.
Well, then I don't know what you'd be like with a cup of coffee.
It's not. It's not recommended
Gotcha.
at all. But they are also going to have affogato. Apparently, that's a really cool thing. It's ice cream in your espresso.
You know, it's really funny you say that
Okay.
because
I don't.
I had to go to dinner with my what hamp?
In-laws.
Son of a bitch. My daughter's boyfriend's parents invited me over for dinner,
Excellent.
and his dad is a chef. And Lily goes, "Do you like?" And now I can say it because you just said it. Otherwise, I wouldn't know.
Affogato.
She goes, "Do you like affogato?" I go, "I don't even know what that is." But he made it for dessert, and it was delicious. I liked it very much. So that's the second time I've ever heard it is just now, when we had it for dinner that night, or for dessert, right?
Well, apparently it's very delicious and it's very
It was
hard
very
to
good.
find.
Is
and
it?
so it
Okay.
will be here in Des Moines, so that's something to be excited about.
I
Very
can't think of that. There's a really good ice cream in Italy. I can't think of what's it called again. I have to dig into it, but it's a really, really,
Isn't
really good.
isn't
it's a really good ice cream. over
gelato?
there.
Gelato.
Maybe, I think you might be right. There,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's
we had a
really
lot
good.
of gelato places in Arizona. I don't know of any out here, but in Arizona, there's a gelato place called the G Spot.
But no wonder you can't find it.
No one knew where it was.
I mean, even with a map, it'd be hard.
That's hilarious. Yeah, but everyone's like, "This place just opened up called the G Spot." I'm like, "What? What is that?" Yeah, okay, I didn't know what the G Spot
Ice
was.
cream.
It was ice cream.
Ice cream.
It was ice
There's an album also called The G Spot by rest in peace Gerald Levert.
Oh, yeah?
He had an album called The G Spot.
cream. Was it about gelato?
No, it wasn't. But
Nice. So your grand opening went well. That's amazing.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
you've had how long you been down here now?
We soft opened in November, so just a couple months. But
Okay.
this would be starting my 11th year of this business.
Yeah, I know you've been doing it for quite a while. I actually met you through Annie, and you and Annie been doing stuff for a long time. We'll have Annie on here eventually too. But
Yeah, we met. We were doing some events together back. I think I did have the flower shop open at that point. We did a couple RTF events together.
okay, very cool.
And I have been in the floral industry since I was 17.
Yeah, how'd you
So
get started?
I
Picking 4-leaf clovers.
right? That's what you would think. I was 17 and I worked at a gas station.
Oh, really?
I worked at a gas station downtown Seattle, the one in the corner of Broad and Denny, right there by the Space Needle
Okay.
Seattle Center.
Okay.
And the man that owned the gas station said, "Well, you're a woman."
Oh,
And he had 3 spots in his gas station. So he opened one of the little retail spots as a flower shop
okay.
and said, "Here's the keys. Go
It's
ahead and
yours.
make it work."
Did you have any interest in floral arrangements, flowers?
I actually am not artistic. I can't draw.
Okay.
I mean, I think I could put colors together, but my children will disagree with you on that.
That's okay. Mine do the same thing.
Right. So I did what
Hamp's
any...
colorblind. Look at him.
Yeah, I can. No matter what, I can have pink and pink on. You know.
Right? I did what any 17-year-old did and started crying, call my mom.
Okay.
Right? I'm like, oh my God. Long story short, I ended up reaching out to one of my mom's friends who did flowers out of her home.
Oh, really?
So she, crash coursed me and I ran the flower shop for a little while. And then she did what any other smart person would do and hired me out from under the flower shop.
Oh, really? Okay. So you went to work direct for her.
I did. And so
Nice.
she did it freelance on the weekends from her home.
Mm.
And so I did that on the weekends. And then I had a full-time job during the week.
Okay. What was the
So-
full-time job at the gas station still, or?
Nope. My first job after that was at Alki Lumberyard.
Nice. That's my kind of place right there.
I was
Love a good lumber yard.
I was the female.
Oh, really? Okay.
There was one.
You were the
It's me.
hire. They're like, we got a girl. You can't give a shit.
We have a
got
girl. And I was the receptionist and I just didn't, that doesn't fit well with me, just
Right.
being the blonde girl over there.
Okay.
And so the boys took me out, and I learned how to use a table saw. I drove the forklift. I was
Nice.
carrying sheets of plywood out to people's cars and stuff. And there was a few times where some of the contractors would come in, and I'd say, "Oh yeah, hey, can I help you? What do you need?" And they're like, "Oh, that's fine. I'll wait for a man."
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay, no worries.
You wait.
And then the salesman would they'd be coming in, and I said, "Oh, they don't need help. They're waiting for a man."
Oh, really?
And the salesman would all line up and ignore them.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, it was really kind of like, okay, yeah, right.
Run with it.
Yeah, stand still.
No, that's awesome. So did you actually like fall in love when you were doing the floor arrangements, or did you just see a good business opportunity, or what led you to where you are today?
So I worked with that gal
Mm-hmm.
that hired me for several years. We were doing 50, 60 weddings a summer.
Okay. Weddings are crazy.
Weddings are
Becca used to
the
have
proverbial-
she had a event planning business in Arizona when we lived
Sure.
there. And she didn't want to just do weddings, but it turned out like most of the time it was weddings. And I don't ever want to be working another wedding again.
That's okay. It's a special brand of torture.
It is tough.
It is the
tough.
proverbial money tree.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it is for sure.
The most amount of money is spent on the most ridiculous things.
Yeah.
I have literally had a bride tell me, "Well, Daddy said I could."
Right.
Awesome. Then we'll just turn this paper over.
Yeah.
We just won't write any numbers down.
Let's just go. Let's just go. Yeah.
Right.
Find out what you want.
Yeah,
How many weddings have you done? Could you even count?
hundreds.
Hundreds.
I would say I am on probably 4th generation bridesmaids now. So bride,
Wow.
and then her bridesmaid, and then their bridesmaid, maybe even a daughter at this point, 2nd generation getting married.
That's awesome though. So you have repeat customers. They like what you're doing. They're coming back.
Well,
the family's
funny
coming
thing
back.
about weddings, not always a repeat customer.
Oh,
I
okay,
have
okay.
married people off for second times.
Oh, okay,
I have done
okay.
that, and I have not always been credited with the divorce. It's not my fault,
Yeah.
right? But if you want to hire me again, that's okay.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. That's a good space to be in. You're not liable for what happened, but they can trust
I
you
mean,
for going
results
forward.
do vary.
Exactly.
So it's really not on. It's not on
You
me.
have a wedding waiver that you make them sign.
I do.
Do you really?
Act of God. Yeah.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
smart. That's smart. I would say, Hamp's had a good run, but he and Christine are doing pretty well. So
Nice.
Yeah.
how many? She's 3?
She's number 3.
She's number 3.
There won't be a number 4.
That's okay. I got a buddy, and put him on blast. Michelle's husband, Lamont. I think Michelle's number 4 or 5. So we always give him shit.
Listen, I've got 2.
Yep,
Everyone does
yep.
it at least once. You got to do it once to get out of the way, and then the second time you just got to do it just because everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
exactly right. And I did it the second time because everybody else was doing it.
See? Yeah.
And then I got rid of that one and did it one more time
Just to make sure.
just to make sure. Yeah. I rolled the dice and it came up 7 or 11. I was like, okay. I got tired of rolling snake eyes.
This one's sticking so far. So
Yeah.
So are you from this area originally? Sorry.
Yes. Grew up in West Seattle.
Okay.
I was supposed to go to West Seattle High School, but I am the generation where they started busing the kids in and out of the neighborhoods. You're not from here. Maybe you remember they were trying to mix the neighborhoods. I can't remember the word for it, but
I'm from such a small town. We had one high school. So
so I was supposed to go to Roosevelt or Garfield,
okay.
and they were going to bus the kids from my neighborhood into that neighborhood and bus those kids out.
You're trying to mix things up, or
Kind of, yeah. There's some polite word for it. I don't remember what
Yeah,
it's.
I've been thinking, I'm going to come up with it.
It was like
But
in.
I'm in busing right now.
Well, but like, so it was a 45-minute bus ride.
gentrification. Is that the?
I mean, kind of, but not really. Just
Right.
like intermingling, thinking this was a good plan. I don't remember
Okay.
whose plan it was.
Sounds like a Washington thing.
It was at least a 45-minute bus ride. And then the people you go to school with.
45-minute bus ride in the morning.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because from West Seattle to Leschi-ish,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
that's a long bus
a long
ride.
haul.
And then, so you're in that school and you're in that neighborhood, but all your friends live where you live.
You're right.
Like, it's weird.
That is very
Right,
weird.
and anything you have to do that's school related, you've got to go back to that school. So anyway,
But
so
the parents were pissed.
they were not happy. So they,
Like, this goddamn recital, I got to drive 45 minutes
Yeah.
to get there.
yeah, well, no. My parents said, no, we're going to drop your ass in Catholic school.
Okay. So
I'm
you
not
go-
Catholic. Perfect.
It was just closer.
Well, it was safer probably,
Yeah,
right?
that
And it
makes
was
sense.
closer. So I went to Kennedy High School in
Okay.
Burien.
Okay.
In Burien.
I've actually, my daughter's had a couple friends that went to Kennedy, so
Yeah.
I'm semi-familiar. But
Right. So again, not Catholic, but took 4 years of religion class. Fantastic.
yeah,
It's a school. That's all it is.
Right.
It's a school, right? Learning
grad-
facility.
Yeah, graduated Kennedy.
Okay.
Went to Highline Community College for 1 semester.
nice.
Got put on academic probation.
How'd that happen?
Well, because I'm sitting in budgeting class trying to decide how to balance a checkbook with $0 when I could be at work
Right,
making money.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And then history didn't make any sense to me because it's over.
okay.
We did that,
Yeah, it's gone.
right?
Okay.
And unfortunately, I chose French in high school,
oh, right.
which isn't doing me any good.
My daughter picked French too, and I'm like, why? Why
Well,
French?
it seemed cool at the time,
Right.
Right? I got to pick a French name, like whatever, but no, served no purpose at all.
yeah, exactly.
So I dropped out of college
okay.
and got another job.
Yeah, so you had told me you worked for the Victoria Clipper.
I did. I did. I worked there for several years,
So
5
that,
or 6 years.
that goes out of, is it Port Angeles?
Downtown Seattle, Pier.
It is downtown Seattle?
Mhm.
Oh, I thought it was up on the other side of the
There
peninsula.
is another one,
Oh, that must be the one I was
right?
thinking of.
So Pier
okay.
69.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Very cool.
I was there. I was there when they were filming The Real World at Pier 70. That was the first
Oh, really?
one of those shows.
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. I remember
reality shows.
MTV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I was about that age when they stopped playing music television,
Right.
music videos, and we got stuck with the Real World and Road
Exactly.
Rules, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this crap. I
Right.
wanted a Metallica video. What the hell's going on? Yeah, you know me. I have a little bit of history with that.
So I worked there for 5 years, still doing flowers on the weekends, still doing weddings.
Wow,
and-
so you've stuck
and
with
things on the
flowers the entire time.
weekends. The entire time.
Okay.
But I had to make a living.
Right, right.
So I was reservation agent there, and then I became a reservation supervisor there.
Okay.
Found my perfect fitting pair of sassafras pants. Sassy
Okay.
pants. Yeah, I got my attitude completely.
How old
from
were
there.
you when you found that?
23, maybe 22, 23.
It's funny you say that because interviewing Hampton as well, we're 2 episodes into Hamp. I did a deep dive on this guy because he's got all kinds of stories. And most people that we talk to, I'm like, we're going to have to come back and do another episode. But you said the same thing, that you were very quiet, very shy. Well, not shy. You did stuff, but you were a quiet guy until you got about the same age, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what did you do at that age? Because please tell me it's the travel industry that messed you up. 'Cause the travel industry gives PTSD. I swear.
Well, you were way younger before you worked at Alaska
yeah,
and
I
stuff.
was. I was much younger, but I just stayed, kept quiet, and I'm a good listener to this day. You know what I mean?
He might not remember it. You might have to tell him once or twice, but if he reads it, he remembers it.
But like you, I was just that person that's just there. Like.
But I remember you telling me when you said when you found similar to you, when you found your voice, when you found your personality, that's
Yeah.
when really things started happening.
Yeah, and I didn't find my personality until it was way after high school for sure.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, all of a sudden a light went off. I found out what was inside of me, and I knew what I had to do. I could be this big badass guy.
Yeah, you could.
He's big enough.
and I can do that too. I can play that role too. But at the same time, that didn't get me anywhere.
Yeah.
It was the other side of me that, that God instilled in me, this nice, humble personality. Growing up in the South really helped,
Yeah.
and you use what you got,
So did you find that same thing? You just kind of found your voice and you're like, this works and I'm sticking with it? Or how did that come about?
Well, so working at the lumberyard, I got pigeonholed into the dumb blonde girl who doesn't know what she's talking about, and could you just make the change? And I put my head down, and again, I was grateful that the gentleman there would support me on it, but it still wasn't taken seriously, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't necessarily need to be taken seriously, but I promise you, what you see isn't what you're going to get.
Right.
So working in the travel industry, a lot of people check their brains when they check their luggage.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
They're on vacation already. They're done.
Right. So
I don't
there
wanna
was
think.
right. There's a lot of times where you just kind of had to. It's almost boss people around because they're just so excited to be on vacation, and I would have people come up to the ticket counter and I'm like, "Oh, hi, where are you going today?" I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I got a ticket.
Okay.
I'm ready to go wherever
okay.
it is.
So what time is your boat leaving? Because there was different boats leaving at different times that may have helped me. I don't know. My husband made the plans. And she's just standing there.
So you were working with the actual...
with the customers, for sure, yeah. And
I was going to say dumb blondes, but
I mean,
I didn't want to offend anyone.
like,
I'm blonde.
Respectfully, it's a thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for
I
sure.
don't fit in those shoes, but I can pretend. But so people would come up, we would check them in and get them on the boats and get them out. I don't know if you're familiar, but there's 4 boats that would leave at different times. Some went to the San Juan, some went to Victoria, some did 2 trips in one day. Anyway, so they would just show up. They're like, "Yep, well, here I am." I'm like, okay,
ready to
fantastic.
go.
And you are? Oh, I don't know. Oh, okay.
So you had to do a bunch of
There was several times
figuring out 4 people.
and there was several times where I just had to draw the line and spell it out for them.
Right.
And so as the reservation supervisor, my job is to take the verbal assault from the people that have decided to check out on vacation.
Gotcha.
My reservation agents, I would go out there, they'd be getting screamed at by people.
Right.
Right. And I'm like, first of all,
it's
that's
never
not
their
your job.
fault. It's
right.
never their
It's
fault.
not. But also,
They're on
you
vacation.
know,
They can't do anything wrong.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm on one side of the counter and these people on the other side of the counter. When I worked at the gas station, I was behind bulletproof glass, so it felt pretty safe. Right?
They didn't give you that at the Clipper?
No, we didn't have that, but that's okay. I grew into it, right?
Okay.
And so I would have people...
You were the bulletproof glass.
Well, yeah. I would have people come in and they were very upset. And so I'll give you one example. As reservation supervisor, I'm the one out there with the walkie-talkie letting the boat go.
Right.
I've decided everyone's on board and everyone that's not on board isn't getting on board. And so, you know, Clipper 4, you're clear to go. All passengers aboard, have a great sail, right? Just whatever.
It sounded very official when you said
Right.
it. I feel like I'm on vacation.
Well, but you know what I mean? Like you're like I'm giving them the go.
No, totally, yeah.
And so as I'm watching these people running
Trying to catch the boat.
running into the building, that's how late they are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so just like an airplane, you're supposed to be on board an hour before.
Right.
Supposed to be there an hour before
Yes.
boarding. And so they come in and they're just reaming the reservation agent. I'm like, no. No, come on over here. Oh, and we've been running, and this bitch was out there, and she saw us, and she let the boat go. And while we're talking, I picked the walkie-talkie up, and I set it down on the counter and go, I'm not bitch. And like, oh, well, you saw us running, and they're waving their itinerary at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, can I just give me that? And I flip it over, and on the back it says what time you're supposed to be there. Oh, well, we didn't know. Okay, well, we told you over the phone.
I mean, I haven't taken a lot of ferry trips, but I know there's a time. I know the times that I have taken a ferry. I get there to
Right.
make sure, and I'm parked. You know, usually I'm taking a truck or car across, but you're parked and you're waiting to get on the damn boat. You know,
And I was like, well, you knew.
Yeah.
We told you on the phone. Here it is in writing. You're handing it to me. You've had this in your possession the entire time. Well, this is a bunch of bullshit. We want to talk to the manager. I said, I am the manager.
Nope.
And I'm that bitch that let the boat go.
Yeah.
Right?
What? Wait.
And the policy at the time was that no one gets their money back. They
Right.
have to fill out some type of form.
So
and
they don't just catch the next
request.
boat.
There was one.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it.
Okay.
So these particular individuals had booked a package. They had a hotel up there. They had rented a car, like the whole thing, losing all their money.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
I definitely wouldn't be late for that.
Well, so I handed them the paperwork, and I said, hold my tag out. Be sure and spell my name right when you write
Fill it
that on
out.
there.
Yeah.
You be sure and spell my name right. It's with a Y.
Right.
Right? And they were livid, and they were storming out, and there was 2 couples that were standing behind them in line that had just been like this.
Did this happen often, or like
mean,
every trip? Or
No, not every trip.
Oh,
But,
that's good.
But there was occasions where, I mean,
it was just worse than
shit
others.
just happens and people. But
Yeah.
the fact that they had the absolute privilege of watching it leave.
Right. They were
You're
close.
welcome.
Yeah, there was somewhere when they watching it pull off. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these two couples behind them, they're like, well, we just heard what happened, so
We're not going to say anything.
go ahead and just give us our forms.
Yeah.
I,
you get the point across to one, and the word kind of spreads, and
well,
you don't.
I slid straight into hospitality. I said, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry you missed your boat. Here's some of the options that are available for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy to call you a cab. We're going to get you on Kenmore Air. In fact, you're going to get there before the boat even arrives.
Well, that's good.
And they were like,
because they weren't an asshole.
I said, I don't have to be nice.
Right.
I said, you decide if I'm nice.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
that's good.
So in the travel industry breaks you of
Yeah.
being kind and passionate and having compassion for people.
We haven't dug into Hamp's Alaska Airlines stuff,
Right?
but I know he's had some
But
stories as well.
I'm going to say this, being 6'11", big black guy,
Wait, what?
big black guy,
You're black, dude?
black. It helps because the only thing I did was work a position, which is first class.
Oh, cheater.
And
Yeah, he was too big to put in the
they
in
walk,
coach.
they come in, sit down, and I introduced myself. I said, "I'm your guys' server today." I said, "Can everybody see me?" And they just bust out laughing. I said, "I got one rule: do not push that call button." Just look at me.
I ain't coming if you push that call button.
Just look at me. I'll see you, but don't touch that call button. And no problem.
Nice.
You said you like to get everybody drinks right off the bat. I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, like hey, I'm that guy that's gonna, especially an all-nighter, I'm gonna put you to sleep.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
Maybe a little something extra in there.
You drinking Crown? Okay, double
Little
for you.
Benadryl.
Double for
Double
you.
for you.
Yeah.
You get a double. You get a double. You get a double. So it works. I mean,
That would've been
people may
great.
not like it, but if you're riding in first class, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
And it's all nighter. Get some
We
rest.
don't want to be yelled at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But so I did work at Clipper. Probably not supposed to say some of this.
We'll
But-
find out later. Don't worry.
there was other procedures that they did, some that were more beneficial to the employees than the travelers.
Oh, okay.
For example, customers are less likely to yell at you when they realize there's a reason that the trip is canceled.
Okay.
For example, when the seas are rough,
Yeah, for sure.
right? No, we want to go. It's much harder to explain to a room of 300 people why the boat is not going out when in the harbor the sea is calm.
That blows my mind, though. I mean, you got to trust. It's like I've been on planes before, and you're sitting on the tarmac, and like, especially when I was flying out of like Northern Nevada and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, we got to de-ice the plane," and I'm like, "De-ice? No, just let me off, dude. I don't want to fly on a frozen over plane where shit's not gonna work. I'll stay the night. You just let me know when it's safe to go."
Right?
Just that one little screw. It
Yeah.
didn't get it. They got ice on this, and it didn't do its job. And here we go again.
That's it. No, I'll stay. Thank you. I'll trust your judgment. You're the professional, not me.
So it was much easier when that we knew the weather was bad. The captain and the captain and the stews were talking, and we would decide together we're going to take the boat out.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, great. I'm like, okay, we're going to start boarding. And do the whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. The whole
Yeah,
thing, because
yeah.
you know what? Because I know you're coming back.
Right.
And so the captain and I, we'd be on the radio. He's like, yeah, we're going to puke them. I'm like, okay,
Oh,
I'm ready.
No kidding.
I'm ready. and so we do the whole thing, boarding number 4. Everyone please board the vessel. I'd let the boat go, which gave me a solid 45 minutes to get the buses ready.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So that when the boat came back,
So they go out there and put them on the rough
puke 'em.
seas, and then they just bring
And
them right back.
people were begging to get off the boat.
'Cause how long of a trip is
Please,
that?
On the bus, it's 4 hours, 5 hours.
No,
but
on the
the
boat.
boat, it's an hour 45, but
Okay,
they
but on
can't go
rough
as
seas.
fast when it's rough. So
Yeah.
you're literally just slamming.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Nothing
they
like a boat ride.
they would get out there. They'd get out there, and the captain would radio in. He's like, "Yep, we're turning around," and I'd be like, "Yep, buses are on the way."
All right, we're
and
here.
they were
Let's do
so
it.
much happier when they got off. Very few people complained.
That's
Couple
funny.
people would want their money back for the meal that they purchased that they just threw up.
Wow.
And I was like,
that's
well-
going pretty far.
And a form for you.
Yeah.
And here's a form for you.
That's going so
Right?
far. To be
But-
upset about that and want money back for it, that's crazy.
They should have never ate
But
that.
they were less combative,
Right.
and
right.
they didn't complain about being on a bus
Yeah,
after they
yeah.
went out and puked them.
Now we went to for my wife's 40th. We went to Vancouver, and we were taking the train from the Seattle station to Vancouver. We got about to Bellingham. No, we were past Bellingham. We're pretty far north, and then a mudslide took out the tracks. And it sucked because I'd booked this trip for my wife's birthday, and we were supposed to get on this really cool, like, coachy train where it's all wood and you can have drinks and meals. Well, apparently that train was in the shop.
Oh, of course it was.
So we got the train that looked like a subway from New York City. I mean, literally, it was just bench bus seats in there. And give my wife credit, You both know my wife. She could be very like, oh, hell no. But she was like, no, you planned this trip. I'm sticking with it. And I was very appreciative. So we're muscling through the train. It's like, it's okay. It's only like I think it was like a 3-hour train ride to to Vancouver. So we get almost all the way there, mudslide. So we have to turn back. But you can't just turn a train around.
Nope.
And this train had no caboose.
Excellent.
That means the main engine in the front just had to push everything backwards, which I think I could have got out and walked faster than the train was moving.
Of course.
They took us back to Bellingham. They dropped us off and put us on Greyhound buses. It took us 12 hours to get from Seattle to Vancouver. And like I said, to her credit, she stuck through it. We had a great time in Canada. But I was like, that was a rough day. But the buses were very nice. Once we got off that train and got on the Greyhounds, they were pretty good.
They're not so bad.
They were pretty fast.
I mean, it's going to get you there.
It got us there. It got us there for sure. So how did that help you into the floral business? Is it just learning to deal with people?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Being able to own some of those things. I'm the supervisor. You're mad at me. That's fine.
Right.
Right. I would say out of all my clients, brides are the worst.
Yeah. I've experienced that as well.
Yeah.
Just helping my wife with her stuff.
Because it's an emotional experience. But really, it's a business transaction.
Yeah.
But the family gets involved and people are family fights. I've
Yeah,
called
for
the
sure.
cops on an uncle once.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, there's so much with that. And then
With
trying
the
to keep
uncle,
it.
that's so strange.
Well, it was either the uncle or the father. One of them was going with the cops. And I
Oh,
asked the
so they
bride
were-
to choose.
I got you.
So
So they were
either-
fighting with each other. And this is
Yeah.
in your floral shop?
This was at a wedding.
Oh, at the wedding. Oh, because you sold and then you go out and do the arrangements on site.
Right. So I also coordinate the weddings sometimes.
Oh, you do all that too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah. And I do big, large scale events like sit down dinner for 800 and a
Nice.
lot of large events as well.
Very cool.
But my
Do you sell
background.
package deals for that?
Uh,
I'm just asking.
I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Whatever 800 sit down is, it's going to be a lot. It
Sure.
won't really be a package. For
So let me ask you this here. Crazy question for me, anyway. Explain the floral business. Like, I know where I get my catfish from,
Okay.
where I get my shrimp from.
Okay.
Where
Good
do you
question.
get your flowers, and how do you go by picking them, and who delivers them to you?
Okay, well, first of all, I don't pick them.
You don't?
Like, I'm not out there picking them.
No,
Okay,
no. When
yeah,
I say
sure,
picture,
sure.
when you see a
Oh,
picture,
yeah.
you say, I like
Okay.
those right there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, for example, sit down for 800 is
Mhm.
80 to 90 tables.
Right.
That's how many centerpieces you would need.
Right.
And so every
huge.
centerpiece has, 30 or 40 stems of things in it. So you're ordering things by the 1,000.
Okay.
Right.
A lot of the roses come from Colombia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. You're getting them that far away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy cow.
I want to know where it was coming from. I know that
yeah.
she ain't
I
picking
guess
them
I
out of
never really
backyard.
thought about it.
It's okay. Colombia and Ecuador is mostly for roses.
Okay.
Chile is for things that are off season because their summers are and
Okay.
our winters are reversed.
Ah, that's wild.
Holland gives you a lot of good bulb flowers, lilies, and,
Wow.
and things.
So you're importing a lot of this
And
stuff.
it flies or it
Right.
ships. So
Right.
from Miami, a lot of flowers come in, shipped to Miami, and then trucked.
Okay.
And so weather like this is going to be a nightmare.
Oh, yeah. It's going
Right.
to jam up the passes and everything. Yeah.
so
for
that's
sure.
a special torture with Valentine's Day coming up.
Yes. Yeah, for
But
sure.
so flowers freeze.
I was going to ask, how do they keep them fresh for that
So-
entire trip?
Flower boxes have holes at the end, and when they're on the planes, the air passes through. It's refrigerated.
Okay.
And then on a refrigerated truck, it passes through. But if a refrigerated truck gets stuck on a pass,
It's not.
it can't hold that temperature. It can keep it cold, but it can't keep it from freezing.
Oh.
It doesn't keep it warm.
Okay.
So when the flower boxes arrive at the wholesale,
Right.
you open it up and you don't know if it's frozen or not. Some of the lower ones are, some of the upper ones aren't.
It's like my fridge does that to me sometimes.
right,
You grab something out of the bag, you're like, what the hell, man?
right, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's a special perishable product type of situation.
Hmm.
There's certain flowers that do better than others. There's certain flowers that last longer than
So what
others.
happens when you get a big shipment and it's not all good? Do you get money back? Do you eat that? Like what happens?
It's a gray area.
Okay.
It depends.
Depends on who you're getting it from.
It
and-
depends on what the situation is, right? If I've ordered something that just doesn't work for me, that's on me.
Mhm.
If I've ordered something that doesn't come in, that's on the wholesaler.
Okay.
There's been a few natural disasters that have messed with my events.
Yeah.
Hurricane Matthew, does that sound familiar?
I
It was several years ago. messed with an event I had here in Seattle. They actually predicted a couple tornadoes in downtown Seattle at the time.
How long ago was that?
5-7 years ago.
I think I remember that.
Okay.
I've only been out here for just under 8 years, but I feel like I remember hearing about that.
And so the product didn't come into Miami because of the hurricanes, and they couldn't get the trucks over. And it was a huge event, like, 50, 60, 70 centerpieces. And of course, they wanted specific colors. And of course, we had done a demo. Never do that. Never do that.
So do you get everything for the centerpieces and build them, or do you order them built?
No, I make them.
That's a good question, because that was my next question, part 2. So how do you decide to make the centerpiece? You decide which goes with what flower looks better with this and so
Right.
on.
Sometimes the client has ideas. Most corporate, they try to match an invitation or a linen or something like that. And there are colors that are not available in nature.
What are you laughing at? He just started giggling like a little girl over there.
I'm thinking, a guy like me would have roses and poison ivy together.
I mean, that's fair, dude. I wouldn't know either.
So that's why I wanted to know, how do you come up with a center? Because you gave my wife a beautiful bouquet.
You got it for
a nice
birthday,
arrangement.
right?
A nice arrangement. And she's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, do you like how I did that thing? I went outside to pick track and picked all that.
Didn't give you any credit.
Did she believe that?
No. I said, Robyn gave this to you. I said, she said, oh, thank her so much. I was like, oh, well, I will. I did. I said, but okay, here you go. So,
did a good job.
So sometimes the clients have a preconceived color or idea design. Sometimes they'll send us a picture of something someone else made. Or sometimes, depending on what the event is, sometimes it's about the wow.
Okay.
Right? Sometimes we're asked to defy gravity without a source of water for more than one day.
Right.
And it needs to look amazing the entire time.
See, that's stuff I wouldn't even think about. He's still thinking about it.
But the flowers on my counter at home still looks good,
But so, and then my preference is to make it and then take it is how I call it, because doing it on site is also complicated. Bringing all the stuff, like Hampton can jump in his food truck and do the same thing he does here. It's not as simple for us to do it on the road.
Oh yeah, for sure. I do know I helped my wife on several occasions again, and she's like, "We're gonna build all these centerpieces at the house, and we're gonna move in it." And I'm looking at her going, "No, we're not. There ain't no way you're gonna make these and put them in a truck and drive them. No, we got to build these on site."
Yeah, but isn't that funny that I choose that over the other?
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, there's no way, Actually, one time she did, and I put them in the back of my truck. I told her these are not going to survive, and they weren't even flowers. It was a steampunk wedding.
Oh.
So they wanted these. They had gathered up all these sticks, and we painted them white, and we put them in these vases with rocks, and there was like chains and watches hanging off of them. It was really actually pretty cool, and it was done.
Good.
But I'm like, I start driving with them. Everything's falling apart. I call my wife. I'm like, we got to rent a U-Haul. So I did. I parked my truck on the side of the road. She picked me up. I went and got a U-Haul, went back, put them in, strapped everything down. It was the only way we were going to get them there, and they semi-survived, So I kind of know what you're talking about.
Right. There's a wish, a prayer, and some magic. That's how it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Fixing it on site, painting stuff,
Yeah, exactly.
So how often do you order flowers, or do you order enough to get by for a certain time?
Like a standard cycle? Or
So standard order is every week. They come in on Mondays. Before I opened this flower shop, I've never worked at a flower shop before. And so
Before you had Iris and Peony?
Yeah, I just decided how it should go. And then I've had other florists come and work for me that have worked in other flower shops. They're like, okay, well, no one does that.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, okay. But so we
don't care.
we only keep our flowers for 1 week.
Okay.
Sometimes other flower shops sell older flowers, stuff you get at the grocery store. It took those flowers a week to get here.
Yeah, I've gotten them sometimes, and they don't even make it a couple days, and other times they make it,
Right. So it's properly cared for, and then I don't keep them for more than a week, and then that's why they last so long. But for event flowers, it's all about the stunt.
Okay.
So actually, it's the literal struggle of getting it in enough time so that it can open perfectly, so it can look amazing on Saturday, but not be horrible by Sunday. It's a special balancing.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I need a cooler to keep the flowers fresh, but sometimes I need them to be open. Then once they're open, they have to go in the cooler because they need to stay like that.
Oh my gosh.
And then, of course, everything has water.
Right.
Special. Special fun. I've had people laying on the horn behind my delivery truck because I could see something in the rearview mirror tip over and all this water comes out the back. I'm like, you think I don't see that? They're honking. It's just water.
Right. Calm down. Calm down.
Jeez.
It's not hazardous waste.
It's going to be okay.
Well, and that happens a lot out here with Seattle too, because Hampton and I were talking about this the other day, because in Arizona, in the desert, I never had to worry about like what was on the ground. You know, like even in my industry in construction, never had to worry about my shavings of what I was cutting or anything. But everywhere you go out here, to anyone that's never been here, there's little grates with pictures of salmon on them. And everything that goes on the ground, you will get fined for anything that makes it into those little grates that may harm the salmon. So I didn't say we did anything. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's a thing that I never had to deal with before. And people all of a sudden were like, no, you can't just cut aluminum and have the shavings on the ground. It's a fine. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, and we have
crazy.
a lot of hills here too. It's a special torture to be not applying the brakes as you're trying not to stop on a hill downtown, and you can see the ceremony piece going, and you try to gas it a little bit,
Keep it
and
standing
then
up.
you make the left, and it goes over in the back.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, I don't think you would get any of your flowers if I had to deliver them.
No.
I know. I tried to describe to people. I said, it's not actually brain surgery, but I think it might be close.
No, I mean, honestly, there's a lot more involved than I thought.
Yeah,
there was.
yeah.
There's
I
a
mean,
few-
I've just never
there's
really
a few,
considered it, I guess. You go to the florist, you buy some flowers. I mean, like I said, we had our wedding. We had a florist help us. I've helped my wife with weddings, but never that in depth. I didn't realize, you know?
Yeah, that's why I had to know. I wanted to know how the whole process worked.
Right. And I am not artistic. I cannot draw. I'm not, but somehow I figured out that flowers is my thing, my jam.
That's awesome.
And I can do it. And I actually didn't go to school for it either. It's all been hand-me-down learning.
Right. That's the best way.
Learning.
That's the best way, in my opinion.
Yeah. So my industry is actually dying. There's no more schools to go to get this knowledge.
Okay.
It's all just has to be handed down. So there are people that buy flower shops that don't know how to do flowers and then hire in people that know how to do it.
Oh, really?
Right. So during COVID, you could only have one employee on site. There's a bunch of silly rules. And I had a couple flower shops call and bitch me out because I was selling flowers and they weren't.
Oh, really?
And I was like, well, yeah, I'm the owner. They're like, well, you can't be there with your designers. I'm like, oh, designer. Oh, I didn't buy a pie shop and not know how to make pies.
Right.
Right?
Makes sense.
I mean,
Makes sense. So are you hiring right now?
I'm not.
You are not. You found somebody.
I did.
Awesome.
I did.
Congratulations.
Her background is construction.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
we're
Very
going to
cool.
start from scratch. But sometimes starting
That's
from
what I
scratch
start
is
with
good.
my guys too.
Right.
I definitely do.
But also, I think I may. There's people that are able to teach things. I think I feel like I'm pretty good at teaching it.
Right.
So we also every year at our flower shop we have interns from Big Picture or from Puget Sound Skill Center,
Okay.
and they come in and get class credit and they learn resumeable skills.
Nice.
Whether they want to be a florist later or not, they learn things like how to answer the phone.
Right.
Apparently something we'll no longer need either. how to count back change.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy between honestly answering the phone. Like a lot
It's
of
huge.
a lot of the guys that the younger guys that we bring on.
What?
They won't even do that. They'll just text.
Yeah.
Not coming in today through a text message. Like you could at least call me and let me know you're not gonna make it in. But yeah, count and change. I've been out when stop at some place to get food or something when you're on the road and computer system's out and they're like, I can't.
I don't know how to do the
You can't
math.
count. You can't count a dollar. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Or they're making change and someone gives you 30 cents.
Yeah.
They just look at you like, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, why'd they give me this
Let's
extra?
Because it's going to be a
$10
$5 bill.
Yeah, now I'm making it easy on
Yeah.
you is what I'm doing.
It's not easy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So some of the kids that have come through my program, they've gone on to do other things. Some of them I hired.
Nice.
But all of them get the opportunity to have that resumeable skill. A lot of those kids aren't college bound anyway.
Okay.
And so because the industry is dying, we're going extinct, and it's a hand-me-down skill. What these students can do is apply for a job at a grocery store.
Nice.
Very few grocery stores have someone that has those skills applying.
Right.
Then it becomes a union job.
Okay.
And at 30 hours, they get full benefits.
Nice.
They can support themselves, which is the goal. And then they can
Huge.
move throughout the grocery industry. They don't have to be a florist.
Yeah, it's a good job too. I mean, I know people that started out pushing carts when they were younger, and now they're running several locations. So
Just
it's
get
very
in the
cool.
door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Is Big Picture a private school? I just learned it about probably a year or two. It was a school.
I don't think it's private, like as in church run, but it's for kids with special needs, different types of learning based. It's more of like projects and group things
Okay.
together. But they all end up having internships at some point and learning skills from other people in the trades or simply learning how to go out into the real world. Just like me, I only made it one semester in college. I'm like, no, not going to do that.
Right. I never
Nope,
even
not
went.
going to do that.
I went
right?
straight into the field,
Right, exactly. So I think
put a shovel in my hand. That's where I started.
yeah, so those are the kids that aren't necessarily academically inclined, right? But
Yeah.
ones that it's very difficult today to apply for a job and say you have no experience.
Yeah.
So they're getting the opportunity to spend part of their class time getting that
Put something on their
experience.
resume. Yeah.
Exactly. Whether
That
it's
makes
what
sense.
they want to do or not.
It's
you at
something's better
least
than nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have that door open.
Very cool. Awesome. We're already at about
okay.
50 something minutes.
Yeah.
And I really want to get into what I think is pretty big news.
Okay.
You would like to, how do we say this? How do we say it the right way?
I heard that she want to run for
City council. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to.
You
Yeah,
want
you
to
want
run
to.
for city
I
council.
do.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So you moved here to the Des Moines area from Burien.
I moved my shop here. I
You
do
moved your
live
shop,
here.
yes. Yes,
Yeah.
you live here, but you
Yeah.
moved your shop and you've done much better here, right? Than you were in Burien?
I mean, I'm happier and my face hurts from smiling.
That's
here.
great. That's a
Yeah.
good problem to have.
I am no longer armed at work.
And
So,
so
this
from-
is
yes.
exciting.
And so, from what I understand, you want to not only keep, but help Des Moines continue the trajectory it's on.
Correct. I
And-
see the value in Des Moines.
Okay.
I see the city putting their energy in economic development and growth.
Yeah.
In Burien, I had to sit on the sidelines since I didn't live there and I couldn't vote there. And
Oh, because you lived in Des Moines.
Yeah.
I got you.
And there weren't enough businesses at the stakeholders table.
Okay.
And it's the businesses that make the community.
Mhm.
And if you are going to be actively working against the businesses,
hmm
then you're pitting us against each other.
Yeah.
So our Des Moines Burien City Council was encouraging
Mhm.
the homelessness and the tents on Main Street,
Right.
and we were averaging an overdose a week,
That's crazy.
and we were making the news 3 nights out of the week.
Wow.
And then there was the lawsuit with King County,
hmm
and
Heard about that.
people would call me and ask me how it's going in Gotham City,
Oh, man.
right?
I get people that do that too because they think I live in like Seattle proper. And they're
Right.
like, they saw everything happening during the shutdowns and the riots. And my mom, small town, and she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm not even close there, Mom. Like, I don't even go there if I don't have to." Seattle's a
Yeah.
beautiful city. Don't get me wrong, but they got some
There's
issues.
some issues.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I told a couple reporters at one time, I said, almost all the small businesses on the street survived COVID.
Mhm.
We found a way to change our business plan, change the way we're doing things, and we made adjustments for that. There's no business plan when the tents are on Main Street. I'm
Yeah.
watching them openly use drugs, which is not against the law,
Yeah.
but the city was supporting it,
Mhm.
almost encouraging it,
Right.
and then blaming everyone else for the results of it.
Yeah.
And I did speak to the mayor, I spoke to the city manager, and I explained to them that by the time they pull their heads out,
Right.
there will be too much collateral damage
Yeah. Yeah. Too far, too gone.
to come back from this. So the mayor's 31, he's a good kid.
Mhm.
He doesn't remember when 152nd died, and that was when South Center opened.
Okay.
It looks a lot like this,
I got you.
where people don't come anymore. There's parking on Main Street during the week.
Right.
And so now the businesses are suffering,
Mhm.
and there's nothing we can do to change that.
Mhm.
And now that I'm here in Des Moines, I've had some of my customers come in and say, "I'm so sorry, I hadn't been in for a while. I didn't feel safe coming to your place of work
Oh, because in Burien.
in Burien."
I got you.
I had a few customers call me from their car. "Could you just bring my flowers out? There's some lady out here with a grocery cart that's screaming, and I don't feel safe."
Wow. I remember seeing some posts that you put on Facebook a couple times.
I was openly upset about it. I was 100% transparent.
Yeah.
There were days where not a single customer came in.
Mhm.
And so when I talked to the city manager and the mayor about it, I told them, I said, "Listen, you're assuring me nothing is going to change anytime soon.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll make a change then."
Yeah.
And I changed the address. And it's unfortunate. I shouldn't have to leave
Yeah. For
somewhere
sure.
that I've been
And they
for
shouldn't
10
want
years.
businesses to leave.
They shouldn't.
They should do everything they can to keep local business owners.
But upon my announcement of leaving after 10 years and being very active and vocal in the community, I want Hampton to guess how many city government people reached out to me.
I got to guess.
4.
Can I try?
Yeah.
0. That was my guess.
Wow.
0.
That's crazy.
Which met my expectations.
Yeah.
And that sound of silence is also the sound of shame.
Yeah, for sure.
And so
You mean 0 as in?
no one called, wanted to know why. I mean, call and bitch me out.
Right.
Be like, God damn it. What the fuck?
Yeah, why are you leaving?
Why are you tapping out when you've been fighting this whole time?
Yeah.
And because I'm no longer going to put my livelihood on the line for this.
Well, and if it's affecting your wholeheartedly, 100% affecting your business and your customers and everybody, you know, yeah.
So now I'm down here in Des Moines. I can put my money where my mouth is. I
Right.
will be vocal.
Yeah.
And I will be at that stakeholders table because I don't want to see that happen again.
So you have to get voted into city council, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, and I don't know a lot about this.
That's okay.
Do you pick a platform? Like what's going to be your methodology going forward with this?
For sure, you have a platform. You have something you're going to bring to this constituents and explain why you should be sitting in that seat. Obviously, mine is going to be economic development and public safety.
Okay.
But I feel comfortable speaking on that because I am educated in it and I
Yeah,
have
you have
just
experience.
spent way too much time experiencing it.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty vocal person. I'm happy to answer questions. Anyone could come ask me questions. I'm not
Sure.
going to speak on something that I'm not educated in.
Mhm.
I will take the time to learn,
Mhm.
but I'm happy to have those knockdown, drag out conversations because if no one talks about the elephant in the room, nothing happens. It
Yeah.
stays in the room.
Yeah.
And so we might not politically align with each other. I know there's many different
Sure. Different views.
people here that have views. I'm happy to listen to you, but you also need to listen to me.
Yeah. Right.
And if we don't ever have that conversation, then nothing gets solved.
right. Well, and coming from the experiences that you had, I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's valid. Now, do you have to run against anyone? Because I know we had Susan West in here
Question.
last one, and I asked her what it was like running, and she said, well, I was the only one on the ticket, so it was pretty easy. You know, I voted for myself, and we had a really good conversation. She loves being on the Normandy Park City Council. So what do you know what's ahead for you? Do you have to run against people? Is there an open seat? I'm very naive when it comes to this kind of stuff. I mean, I follow federal stuff. I need to be better at local stuff. So
okay.
how does that work exactly?
We'll get you there.
Perfect.
I believe there will be an open seat.
Okay.
I would prefer to run against someone.
Yeah. Little competition.
That's okay. That's okay because
Sure.
competition makes it
Yeah.
better.
Makes it legit too, right?
Right, you're accountable.
Yeah.
I plan on being accountable,
Mhm.
but also volatile councils
Mhm.
I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally had an area in the City Hall in Burien for the press corps.
Mm-hmm.
And there were times where the entire room was cleared because people were fighting,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
right? So I don't want to have the knockdown dragouts. I've
Sure.
seen that. And
Yeah.
I don't want it to be, a bunch of kids at Thanksgiving dinner fighting. We're not doing that
Yeah.
either.
Right.
But I also don't want to just be put in that seat without everyone understanding or learning who I am or meeting me.
Yeah.
But if no one wants to run against me,
Then there you go.
I'm not going to be upset.
So you're welcoming challengers if there's anyone out there.
I
but
am.
otherwise,
I am. But you know what? Because people deserve to have a choice.
yeah, for sure.
Because
That's
there's
what the
too many
system's designed
times.
off of, right?
There's too many times recently that there's been elections without a good choice.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm the best choice,
Right.
but I'm saying at least have the opportunity to be a choice.
Yeah. Susan was telling us that when she ran, she was running unopposed, but people took the time to vote and write. Not even other people in. They were writing in Bugs Bunny, Donald Duck. Like, it's like, really? Like, what? You take the time to go and vote, but you're like just screwing it away. You know what I mean? Like, come
Right.
on.
Well, make that time better and come sit through a council meeting and then see what you have to say about Bugs
Exactly.
Bunny and Donald Duck.
There you go. Exactly. I totally get with that for sure. So when is it's coming up soon, right? The election?
Always in November.
Okay.
Always
So
in November.
always in
So
November.
coming up soon. I need to survive Valentine's Day, and then I'm going to focus on that.
gotcha.
Also want to I did start a nonprofit in Burien, the Burien Business Association. Because there weren't enough businesses being heard, we started a stakeholders group.
Okay.
We made a fair amount of noise. We were a PAC, political activist, something.
Yeah.
And
I've heard the term PAC.
and so we did try
Super
to.
PAC. You hear that one a lot.
We were not a super.
Gotcha.
But we did also try to be vocal in the election in Burien.
Okay.
And we did get some fresh blood on council, but I think house was already on fire
Right.
at that point.
Right.
But I did advocate for the businesses a lot, which I plan to do here as well, because we're all working. We're all busy. Council meetings are great, but when you can't go to the meeting, or like I was hamstrung, I didn't live there and I couldn't vote there.
Yeah.
But decisions were being made on my behalf without my input.
Right.
And so I plan to also help the businesses have a voice down here as well, which builds that economic base and the economic development. And then that builds the community from the inside out.
Nice. I like it. Very cool. So we're getting really close on time.
Okay.
And I wanted to dig into that. But I do want to ask you before we wrap everything up, Valentine's Day. I mean, you're a florist. What do you got going on? You got
It's our Super Bowl.
right? I figured you're going to be busy.
We will be busy doing deliveries. We've teamed up with Second Love to have deliveries that include coffee, bags of coffee if you'd like.
Oh, very cool. Okay. So you got
so-
some specials going.
We do. You can order flowers from us. We can include coffee with that, chocolate.
Nice.
Iris and Peony just introduced their new signature candle.
Oh,
so you
very
can have
nice.
a candle come with
Everybody
it as well.
loves candles.
Everybody. Hampton loves candles.
Yeah, we sure do.
Do you, now let me ask you, when you smell a candle, do you say it's a flavor or a scent? Because my wife would always say, what flavor is this? And I'm like, you're not eating it. It's not a flavor.
No, I have to go with scent.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'll second that.
Okay,
I'll go
perfect.
with scent, yeah.
yeah, no flavor, you know.
Like, she's like, what flavor is this? I'm like, babe, I'm not eating it. It's not a flavor.
It's a scent.
Yes, it's a scent. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the favorite things that we do for Valentine's Day is we have a card enclosure contest. I probably shouldn't say this out loud.
Okay.
And
Then say it really quiet.
okay, so when you are on the phone and customers are telling us what to put on the enclosure card,
Okay.
sometimes it's a little awkward.
Okay.
It can get a little bit,
Okay.
and so each year,
Because they're saying like the
'Cause,
sexy
like,
stuff or.
well, it's yeah,
It's not tic tac toe.
it's you know their
It's
feelings.
tic tac. Oh.
It's their feelings,
Yeah,
and
sure.
I am simply the middleman.
Right.
And so we have a contest. Whoever takes the most horrifically gruesome enclosure card gets free drinks that night.
All right. Perfect.
So I have thought long and hard many years about publishing some of those.
Oh, really?
I really have
That
thought
could be
about it.
interesting.
But then I thought, people won't call me anymore.
That's true. You got to do it under an anonymous. I mean, we'll get rid of this later, but you do it under like an anonymous account, right?
Exactly right.
So
Exactly right.
you would put all of it together and then come up with a creative name.
Well,
There you go.
I mean, we could talk about the enclosure cards each year, what we got.
Yeah.
The one about being a love monkey and the red room
Oh.
one year.
In the red room.
That was special because that was actually
Was that? Did you send that card to me?
I don't know, but you screwed me with the color.
that one was actually handwritten by a customer, and I dropped it in a bucket of water by accident.
Oh no! So you had to rewrite it.
Well, so I had to call the gentleman,
Oh, and get the.
and it was absolutely unfortunate. He said, "Well, I don't have time to come back down there," and I was like,
Oh,
okay.
was it
I was
she?
like, "No, it was the guy," but
Oh.
he's like, I don't have time to come back down there." I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm happy to just," and
You're like,
he's
just
like-
tell me what you want to
I'm
say.
like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And he's like, "The red room, and I'm your love monkey," and I was like, "Okay, sir. Yep,
That's funny.
yep. Thank
Something
you.
else I would never think about.
Thank you,
is
sir.
Florist.
We're good. Thank you." Yeah.
Got enough. And also, you can get your flowers somewhere else next year.
I did not say that.
That's
But
funny.
one of the other things you asked about specials, our dozen roses have been the same price for the last 5 years.
Okay.
Right? It's not the same as Safeway. If you pay what they charge at Safeway, you're going to get
Get what you pay for. Yeah.
But something that I have been able to do is help some of the fine gentlemen that come through the door that say, "Oh, I just want to get a dozen red roses for my wife. They're her favorite." Sir, we can do better than that.
Yeah.
No, they're her favorite. Is it because you get her that every year? Well, yeah, sir.
Let me ask you
Mix
this.
it up
Since
a
we
little
talking
bit.
about flowers, you got any cali lilies?
I can get them, yeah.
Get me some,
Okay.
please.
Do you have a favorite color? Or
Let's go with purple.
okay, that's my
My
favorite.
wife loved cali lilies.
I don't
Okay.
even know what those are.
Every
That's
time,
okay.
every time I go to Safeway, they don't have them. I've been there 3 times since I've been out here, and I've only found them once. But yeah, she like. I said, "What's your favorite?" She like cali lilies. I said, "Okay." I look all the time, so
Well, they're expensive
Yeah.
and they're hard to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You know a person.
it's okay. I was gonna say, and I don't think I ever want you to say I went to Safeway.
Yeah,
well,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely
Like,
can't say that
I
anymore.
went 40 feet to my right,
There you go. I went into backstage alley.
went to Mexican Alley, and crossed the railroad track and got some
Iris
calories.
Peony.
I mean, Hampton just literally has to text me.
Yep.
It'll be that
Yep,
easy. And
exactly.
same with Joe. Just text me.
So yeah,
Perfect.
so that's what I want.
All right.
Okay.
So I've got you. It's in the bag. And for
Okay,
anyone
awesome.
else listening, I promise it's in the bag. And
Yep.
for those gentlemen that just want to bring home a dozen roses, I will
Come
back
talk to a
that.
professional.
I will back that. And if you take home something else and she doesn't like it, I will give you your money back.
All right, that's great.
Now, you can't beat that with a baseball bat.
No, no, you can't. No, you can't. Awesome.
That'll sell right there.
Well, cool guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. We did a good hour. We'll definitely have you back for sure because I feel like we barely touched the surface on a lot of
Yeah, I
this
think
stuff.
we got a lot more to cover. here.
And
I'm
I
happy to come back.
definitely want to talk more about you
Wanting to.
run for city council.
Correct. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
And like I said, I told Susan this when she was here. I'd like to get you guys in here together because she is city council. She's Normandy Park. We're neighbors, you know. So I think that'd be a cool thing to do. So just my opinion.
Mine too. I thought the same thing. You know, I mean, you got one that's already in seat and one that want to get in seat. So
Yeah.
why not let them
And
face each other?
And you
Ooh.
know, she wants to expand, and sounds like you have similar ideas, especially when it comes to small business and everything else. So could be really cool.
Yeah, collaboration is where it starts.
Exactly, I agree.
So Joe, do what you do. Get
All
us
right,
out
guys.
of here.
Stick Lounge Podcast. Thanks for coming on, Robyn.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Joe and Hampton, lights dim, this game time. Interview sharp, cut through
he
like
likes
a
that.
shank
He likes
line.
that.
Stick down, stories unfold, real and more. From hustlers to
That's it right
dreamers,
there, you
breaking
understand?
laws with a
We can
claw.
sell you this track if you want it.
That's true. That is true. Autograph it. They do CDs anymore? Autograph a CD.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Knowledge it rains from the streets to the beats in every vein. Stick Lounge Podcast.
I'm glad we went with this one. There was a lot of runners, but we went with this one.
Yeah.
Every episode a new fraud.
Then we just let it play out. Stick Lounge Podcast.
Yeah.